Down a mine, is he? Laughed Gordon. What a joke!
Starting off with characters for this set, we of course had to have Gordon, the big express engine. Then we come to the main character of the episode, Thomas the Tank Engine. He is going to be the one falling down the mine later in this story. And when it comes to rolling stock in this set, I did not shy away from including lots of it. So here we have Annie and Clarabelle, because Thomas is seen in the opening shots of the episode with Annie and Clarabelle at the station when he is talking to Gordon.
Phew, remarked Thomas. What a funny smell.
And then we come to Gordon and where the mine is. And at the mine, I included Rickety. Rickety is new to my collection, and I also think he would be a good fit for this set because of his color. We have two blue engines, and so why not have a blue troublesome truck? He has a face, so it works out nicely. And then he also has a load of ballast, which is something that we would probably see at the mine. And then in the episode, in the opening shots, when Gordon is talking to Thomas, he is pulling a train of troublesome trucks. So here I have some classic ones. We have the gray troublesome truck, and then the troublesome brake van. So this is just a very season 1-esque train. Going over the miscellaneous items that I have in this set, we have two trees over here by the bridge. We of course always have to have some scenery items in a Thomaston Railway set. And along with the trees, we also have a building here at the mine. And then we have the infamous sign that tells Thomas to not pass this board. So here we have a stop sign to represent that.
A large notice warns them not to enter the area. Danger! Engines must not pass this board.
And then for figures, I included one workman, station master, driver, or fireman. And then we have the Fat Controller himself, who is going to scold Thomas later in this story. And now we come to the station on this set. Here is Wooden Railway Elsbridge Station. Now in the episode, Thomas and Gordon have their opening conversation at Lower Tidmouth, but I of course do not have a Wooden Railway Lower Tidmouth, so we are going to be using Elsbridge instead. Before I get into the story, I'm just going to go over the set itself and some of the choices that I made for the design of it. In terms of the station, I wanted to have two lines available so that Gordon and Thomas could have their conversation that is seen in the opening shots of the episode, where we get the jokes about ditch water. But I didn't want to make it too complicated, so here's a siding that Gordon or Thomas can be in with their respective trains. And then I thought this would be a really good design for the mine that Thomas falls into, two track-to-surface ramps. And then I just thought I'd throw this bridge in here because every Thomaston Railway set needs some elevation. And now it is time to reenact the story down the mine with this set. So here we start out at the station where Thomas is waiting with Annie and Clarabelle, and then Gordon puffs in with his troublesome trucks.
A funny, musty sort of smell, said Thomas. No one noticed it till you did, grunted Gordon. It must be yours.
And as we all know, Gordon previously fell into a ditch, and so then Thomas can continue to tease him about it.
It's ditch water. Before Gordon could answer, Thomas puffed away.
And then we get a look at the relationship between Thomas and his two coaches, Annie and Clarabelle.
And to Thomas they said, "You mustn't be rude. You make us ashamed." But Thomas didn't care a bit.
And this is honestly my favorite version of Thomas. I feel like he is just so carefree. He's very hot-headed. And so I feel like it just works out really well for season 1. And so the story continues as Thomas leaves Annie and Clarabelle in the yard. We can have Gordon continue to puff around the set with his troublesome trucks. But then we get to the mine where all the action happens. And we have Thomas planning to play a trick on the fireman who's going to throw the switch.
The fireman went to throw the switch. Now for my plan, thought Thomas.
And here, of course, is where Rickety and then the stop sign comes in. It all comes into play. Thomas can bump Rickety just like he bumps the trucks in the episode.
Bumping the cars fiercely, he jerked his driver off the footplate and followed them into the siding.
The line is just sturdy enough to have trucks like Rickety go across, but then Thomas will fall into the mine.
"Come back!" yelled his driver.
And this is when Sir Topham Hatt shows up.
And a very naughty one, too. I saw you, said Sir Topham Hatt.
I also love the fact that we can see Sir Topham Hatt's shadow on Thomas's tank in the episode. As you can see Sir Topham Hatt just slowly walking towards him. Thomas looking very sad and obviously scared of what Sir Topham Hatt is going to have to say.
I wonder if Gordon could pull you out. Yes, sir, said Thomas, but he didn't want to meet Gordon just yet.
And to be honest, one of the most memorable scenes for me as a kid is when Gordon is just excited at the thought of Thomas being stuck down a mine.
Down a mine, is he? Laughed Gordon. What a joke!
And then Gordon comes to rescue Thomas.
It was a lot harder than they all thought. At last, Thomas was free.
And this is where we get the start of the Gordon and Thomas alliance, which is of course continued in the episode Paint Pots and Queens when we see Gordon and Thomas puffing back from the mine. And that episode takes place directly after this event.
Shall we form an alliance? You help me and I'll help you. Right you are, agreed Thomas.
But that is going to be the entire story told within this set. It was a pretty simple one, but I really do love how the mine area turned out with the two ramps. And then we got to have these engines, Thomas and Gordon, once again, in a custom Thomas and Railway story set. I just love this Thomas model, so I am not complaining. And then I also got to have Rickety, the model that is brand new to my collection. The Fatty, as always. And then we got to have Annie and Clarabelle and Elsbridge Station, which, to be honest, I don't know if I've had either of those in a custom set before, so this might be the first. But that is going to be it for today's video. And before we get out of here, it looks like Gordon has come off the rails here at Elsbridge Station. It seems as though Rickety and the troublesome brake van have gotten the best of him. I'm sure Thomas will be there to make fun of him, and the Fat Controller to let him know that Henry will be pulling the express from now on. But let me know what you guys think about this set in the comment section below. I love seeing all of the support in the comments. I love reading all of them. And also let me know what other stories you want to see me recreate into a custom story set. Without further ado, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
And buffer to buffer, the Allies puffed home.